Hi, and welcome to episode number 10 of Get Involved Pittsburgh here on PCTV 21 and 47 in the city of Pittsburgh. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Tom Baker, and I'm proud to be your host. I hope that you enjoy our show. Some tremendous guests that are going to be on our show, representing a wide array of organizations here in the community that you can get involved with and give back. I'm a true believer that there's always something for us to do here in the city, ways to connect with other organizations to make a difference, something that my wife and I believe very strongly in. We love staying busy in the city and find no reason to leave, and just love staying active here in the Pittsburgh region. So again, just thank you for tuning in. Thanks to the whole staff at PCTV for all their help with Get Involved Pittsburgh over the years. Our final guest on episode number 10 of Get Involved Pittsburgh is Dawn Meling. Dawn works with the Commonwealth Foundation, and also I just found out is a volunteer basketball coach as well. So Dawn, thanks for being on the show here today. I'm curious about basketball. How's the season going? What's going on with your players?
Well, I coach 5- and 6-year-old boys, so very intense. The focus at the beginning of the season is really just getting them to understand that basketball is not a combination of football and soccer and gymnastics.
Okay.
So we're still working on that aspect of it. But
well, good luck.
It's really fun. I coach for an organization called Upwards Basketball, and Allison Park Church hosts it. So they've got several hundred kids that are involved in this just community-based program. Girls and boys, they do cheerleading and basketball. And
are you a former athlete? Did you play sports growing up? Or?
Yes,
okay.
I was a 4-year varsity triathlete at Slippery Rock School.
Okay, what sports did you play?
I did cross-country, basketball, and track.
Wow, okay.
And then I threw the javelin and track. I did that at Bucknell for 1 year, too.
Okay.
So.
Got quite an athlete on the show here today. That's excellent.
Yeah, I enjoy sports. I wasn't excellent in any, but I was a hard worker and all.
Excellent, excellent. So you're with the Commonwealth Foundation
Yes.
now, which I've known about for a couple of years now. Tell us, though, for our viewers, what is the Commonwealth Foundation?
Sure. The Commonwealth Foundation is Pennsylvania's free market think tank. So that still is a lot of words. So to put it simply, our mission is to craft free market policy to convince Pennsylvanians of their benefits and to counter attacks on liberty. So we focus on state policies that are affecting the business environment, that are affecting our kids, the future of Pennsylvania, and ultimately working to make Pennsylvania a better place.
Okay. And what's your current role within the organization?
I am the community liaison. Okay. So my role is to take all of the great intellectual ammunition, if you will, all of our research and all of our work on policy, and to take it out to grassroots activists, to community members, to the business community, so they can understand, what our state policy looks like and what good policy is and how it's really affecting their bottom line and competitiveness in the business environment in Pennsylvania.
And how did you end up in this role? So you're a triathlete at Slippery Rock. I know you're still in your young professional life. How did you kind of end up in this role?
Well, interesting. I didn't follow the traditional path to a think tank. In college, I was involved in the Bucknell Conservatives Club, and so that was my political activism, if you will. And that we focused a lot about the administration's kind of infringement of our rights as students. So really kind of in that Bucknell bubble, we called it. But then I had a business degree, and I wanted to go into corporate America, so I moved back to Pittsburgh. I moved to Pittsburgh, I guess, back to Western PA, right. And I had a job with a bank, and then with U.S. Steel, and I had finance-related jobs, and they were great jobs, and it was such good experience. I got my MBA at Duquesne while I was working, but then just a while back, I wanted to do more. I wanted to, I was seeing what was happening at the state. I was seeing how regulations were affecting small businesses to big businesses, and I just wanted to do more. Mm-hmm. So the opportunity arose with Commonwealth Foundation and to be out here in Western Pennsylvania to kind of broaden our reach to the state. So I just jumped at the chance.
That's great. I always find it interesting too, doing community affairs work myself with Big Brothers Big Sisters, your work with community relations, community affairs, and I think a lot of people are like, well, that sounds great, but what's a common day? What's a day in the life? So what are some of the things that you kind of tackle, and I'm sure it changes a bit, but what are some of the things that you're working on a daily basis?
Sure. I'll give you yesterday as my example.
Let's hear about yesterday.
So yesterday I had a couple different things to tackle. I usually am on the road a little bit a day, so I started the day with some meetings and checking in with the Harrisburg office, preparing for a meeting out in Murraysville with a group out there of community members that wanted to learn more about the natural gas industry and the regulation that we have there. And I met with a really active member of the Republican Party in Pittsburgh to kind of find out more about how we can be getting more involved in getting our ideas there as well. And then I worked on editing a policy piece that we're going to be putting out. So I'm on our public affairs team, so I do some editing and sit in front of the computer, schedule some more meetings. So it's really, I love it because it's different every day.
Yeah.
I'm meeting new people all the time. I get to, I love writing and editing and speaking.
Yeah,
so
it's very fun.
Yeah, so it's a nice combination. That's what I love about community affairs.
How big is the Commonwealth Foundation? How long has it been around? What's kind of the history of it?
It's been around for a little bit over 20 years, and we now have a staff of 12. Okay. So that's been actually, I think, pretty big growth. But I'm the most recent addition. Okay. Now, 10 of the 12 are in Harrisburg. And
it's headed by Matt Briette?
Matt Briette.
Briette, right, okay.
That's another tough one. There's a lot of L's and T's and I's.
Briette, okay,
Yes.
Matt Briette. He's very well known, though,
Matt is our president and CEO and very, very accomplished and well known. He's a teacher and school board member, and now he's been leading our think tank for quite some time now, and getting Matt out to speak is one of the things I love to do because people love to hear from him and his knowledge and experience, and so our office is steps down from the Capitol, so we really kind of have our finger on the pulse there, and then we've got 2 of us out in Western Pennsylvania and looking to expand over to Philadelphia. So Pennsylvania is a big state, and we want to make sure we've got it covered.
Yeah. What are some priorities for 2012 for the nation?
Well, there's a lot of potential for great change in Pennsylvania right now, and one of those things that I think we all know is the liquor store privatization. That's been quite buzzworthy lately, and getting the government out of the booze business. We like to say, government in the booze business is a lose business, and we're only one of 2 states in the whole country that have a total government control of wine and liquor sales. So that's an opportunity to expand freedoms and make us more competitive to serve the consumers and taxpayers of Pennsylvania. Also, we do a lot involving school choice and the opportunities we have for school choice in Pennsylvania, the ability to give parents the right to choose the best school for their children. And also, as I mentioned, we are keeping our eye on the Marcellus Shale and the natural gas development here. It's been such a great boon for the area, especially here in Western PA. We saw unemployment numbers drop again, and just putting the golden goose, so it doesn't get strangled before it lays the egg.
So you're touching on and tackling a lot of big issues. I'm guessing some of our viewers might have different viewpoints from what you're sharing,
sure.
and that's for those that do agree with what you're saying, that might learn a little bit more. How do they find out more about the Commonwealth Foundation?
Yes.
And I know you got your shirt on as well.
I do. I have my Commonwealth Foundation shirt on. It's commonwealthfoundation.org. It's a great way to find out to read our research. We have a blog that we update. We're also on Facebook, so find us on Commonwealth Foundation, follow us there. There's a lot of ways to keep track of what's going on.
Great. And what are your goals for 2012? I know you talked a little bit about the Commonwealth Foundation. What does Don Meling want to achieve in 2012?
Ooh, well, I think to be a more involved community member and to be, again, spreading the ideas of free markets, but also encouraging people to do what Tom Baker has done, is to get more involved in the community. A lot of people tend to look at national politics, and that's so there's money that's Washington D.C. What can I do to make a change there? But so much of politics that affect our life is local. So whether it's running for a school board or just talking to your legislator, so making sure I'm encouraging people to be more involved in those ways, because
to use their microphone to say
absolutely,
something about what they believe in.
absolutely.
Well, Dawn, it was a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for being our final guest on episode 10. Thank you very much. And that's going to wrap up episode number 10 of Gettysburg. I hope you enjoyed hearing from all of our guests. We had a wide array of views, backgrounds, interests on the show today, but I hope you really took a lot away from it. One of the things I love about our show is that it's really a great way. All the guests you see that come on the show really get to know each other in between the breaks as we're setting up. And I just want to speak briefly about Pittsburgh, and there's so many opportunities to get connected in this region. Through Get Involved, we plan a lot of networking events, our monthly Power Hour, Morning Mix, our annual Service Summit, which is coming up on April 4th as well, in our Fashion Leaders program. Those are our 4 core programs for Get Involved, Inc. I would just say, whatever the programs are, if there are programs with Get Involved or there are other organizations that are putting on these events, Show up. Don't care if you're the youngest person in the room. Don't care if you don't know anyone. Just show up, give it a chance. That's a big thing that I try to share with college students, young professionals, and lifelong leaders across the country is just showing up, give it a shot, get to know more people. We have a lot of terrific people here in our region. You met 5 of them here on our show today. Just really tremendous people that make a difference, fighting the fight for what they believe in. And I want to hopefully encourage you to do one more thing in 2012. We talked about goals on the show today. I want you to try to do one more thing to make a difference to help other people in our region. I'm Tom Baker. It was an honor and a privilege, again, to be your host here on PCTV 21's Get Involved Pittsburgh. We'll hope to see you soon on episode number 11. Thanks so much.